and I'm joined now by Martin Makary, Professor of Surgery and Health Policy at Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine and one of the authors of the article.
Well, it turns out when we have a patient, or I have a patient that dies from a communication breakdown or poorly coordinated care or a misdiagnosis, that death certificate, when it gets filled out, asks what is the primary immediate cause of the patient's death. And the answer to that question that I put on, or you or any physician lists on that death certificate, is what populates our country's national health statistics. So as a result, the problem of people dying from medical care gone wrong has been vastly underappreciated and not even recognized in this process by which we record and tally our health statistics. These are issues that have lived in locker rooms and doctors' lounges and nursing stations where people talk about stories, and it's almost as if everyone knows of examples that they've witnessed or know of, but they live in the form of stories and not in the form of epidemiological numbers. And it turns out in our research we found there are several good studies that we synthesized in a type of consensus report. Our point estimate shows that the figure is 251,000 per year, and that's not even a liberal definition or a liberal estimate. That is using some of the most conservative numbers in the literature. So we believe the number of 251,000 people dying per year just in the United States from medical error or medical care gone wrong is a very conservative estimate. And the current number 3 cause of death in the United States listed in our country's national health statistics is not even close to that number. So even if the number came in much lower, if the estimate were, say, 180,000 deaths per year, it would still be the number 3 cause of death in the United States, but we feel very good about our estimate representing the best existing science in the field. We've all known that there have been bad apples in medicine, but one thing now that has increased over time is as medical specialization grows, the sort of one-hammer approach within a specialty and the perverse incentives that exist in medicine have increased. And that creates a complex medical system that sometimes lacks transparency that results in the wide variation in quality of medical care that is the endemic problem in safety and, I believe, drives the cost crisis around the world. It turns out that when there's an egregious malpractice event, the part of any lawsuit is a settlement, and part of any legal settlement is, by routine, what we call a gag order, which means that the patient and both parties are not allowed to talk about any of the details of the malpractice event for the rest of their lives. And that's part of the problem, I believe, in patient safety, is that we have created this wall of silence where we don't talk openly and honestly about the problems. Part of it is sort of this legal fear that we could be sharing our problems, but part of it is we don't have a standardized system like aviation. When a plane crashes, there's an investigation, and the entire pilot community worldwide learns something from the crash. There's a lesson learned. But yet in healthcare, the same mistakes happen again and again, and many of them are never investigated.